All right, we'll just wait for people to trickle in here, and then we'll get started.
Yeah. The weather in your location, David?
It's a little rainy today, unfortunately, but it's looking a little better. How about yourself?
Oh, the sunny South Florida. They don't
That's
call it sunny.
right.
So it's a little hot.
It's a far cry from Michigan, I'm sure. So, all right. Well, I will just go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, where we'll be discussing the latest innovation from XCentium, the XC connector for Shopify and Salesforce order management. My name is David Hilton, and I'm the product owner for this exciting new feature. And with me is Surya Chawla, our architect, who will be leading the demo of the connector later in this webinar. So before we get into details on the connector itself, we'd like to introduce ourselves, and I'll also take myself off webcam here to kind of free up bandwidth. So XCentium is a full-service digital consultancy with a strong focus on commerce, CRM implementations, and cloud support. We have a very rich history of platform excellence and an unwavering commitment to client success as well. We're celebrating our 12th anniversary this year, and we've been doing it alongside some very important clients of ours across so many different industries. So on the next slide, we have just a listing of some of the clients we work with now and ones we've worked with in the past, from financial services and CPG all the way down to tech and even some nonprofit work that we've done as well. But our Salesforce experience is definitely something we hold very dear to ourselves. We've been doing it for 8 years across so many different clouds, from Sales Cloud to Marketing Cloud, SFCC, Commerce Cloud, and of course, Order Management, which we got right into as soon as it was released just a couple of years ago. Our experience there has been very, very varied, and we've been working with some clients recently and doing a lot of releases with order management work that we're very proud of. And we also have a lot of experience with MuleSoft that has lent to a lot of talent and retaining some really great engineering talent on our team. That's led us to create this amazing new innovation that we're going to speak about today. And also, as you can see, we're a Salesforce Silver partner. We have the Master of B2B Commerce certification as well. And we're also the first partner globally to achieve the Salesforce B2B Commerce Cloud Master Navigator accreditation, which we're pretty proud of. So with that, let's get right into the connector. So this connector is an enterprise-grade order servicing solution for Shopify, really. And why we created it is we recognized a little bit of a problem is many of the clients we've worked with that use Shopify, some of them actually started from a fairly small marketplace or shopping experience online. And as their enterprise grew, they needed something more robust for order servicing. But there isn't really a tool built into Shopify directly that can provide that. So we wanted to see if there was a way to actually bridge a order servicing solution to Shopify in an easy way. Right now, there's a lot of manual steps that you need to take. There's a lack of that native integration and a long lead time before business ROI can really be achieved in that sense. So the XC connector, which is coming from a couple years of innovation and investigation into how we can bring these two platforms together, among others that we're also thinking of, in order to allow retailers and customers to smoothly launch both of these types of services within weeks. The solution is perfect for those who have order management scaling challenges with Shopify or requirements to expand to multiple storefronts, which is a huge deal. There's a lot of different customers of ours that are looking to expand beyond just having that singular storefront, and they really want to do something in different languages or go into selling different products. So having an order servicing solution that can filter it all into one spot is very beneficial to them. And of course, if they're not able to get that full 360 view of their customers, this is where this solution can really benefit our potential clients and customers alike that are looking for a solution like this. So in case you aren't totally familiar with Shopify, it's one of the most widely used e-commerce platforms on the market today. It's a popular choice, especially for growing businesses, and it has a very easy to use interface targeted towards business users, new business users, of course, and even ones that have been around for so long, different companies that have been, trying to get into the e-commerce space for a little bit. A lot of times they'll go to Shopify first to really get something going. It gives you a full solution in a box, from catalog management, storefronts with customizable themes, and right now just some simple order management tools and inventory management. And when it comes to Salesforce order management, this is a robust servicing system designed to streamline and optimize the order management process for businesses. So it gives just this crazy amount of customization options, flow options, and an order lifecycle management and options that service the entire customer order lifecycle. It also features a connection to omnichannel inventory, which is another tool used by Salesforce. It's also very beneficial for omnichannel order integration. So if you have different channels that are bringing orders in, you'd like to put that all into one spot. If you're selling, from your online storefront, but also from your actual physical stores, you can bring all of those orders into order management and service them there as well. It provides that 360 customer view too, which Salesforce built their entire reputation and acumen on. So it's great to have those benefits when it comes to this Salesforce-based product. So with this connector that we're currently building, it's a proprietary cloud-native service that's currently being refined by our team. And with the connector, the XC connector, you can share data between these two systems, Shopify for sales and order management for servicing, in real time. So you always have the most up-to-date information right at your fingertips. Out-of-the-box integration to Salesforce OMS from Shopify is something that you'll get with this, as well as a shorter time to production and, of course, business ROI right off the gate. So the features of this is you get bi-directional real-time sync. You can sync orders between the two platforms, and they will always be up to date. Whether you make an update to cancel or reship items in order management, Shopify will be able to see those changes, and the order records will be updated accordingly. You also get a person and customer account sync between both platforms, which is also extremely beneficial. So if changes need to happen to customer details between Shopify and OMS and vice versa, it will sync, and it will have the most up-to-date and true information between both systems. There's also support for multiple e-commerce front ends and storefronts, as I spoke about earlier, and it provides support for refunds, cancelizations, and other customizations based on payment gateways. So just to dive into a few more benefits as well. We're really trying to focus on an easy to install and set up process between your Shopify and Salesforce order management instances. The entire reason why we created this is because of the manual work you would need to do in order to connect the two services. It's just so much, it's too much of a hassle. So the XC connector really comes into play as being that one-stop implementation that brings it all together without having to do any heavy manual development work. So you'll get that reduced cost of initial ramp up when utilizing this connector. And since it's cloud native, there's no need really for setup and management on your local servers. It's an option, but it's best to most likely just use it on our cloud-based servers. You get that swift go live utilizing out of the box functionality as well. There's so many tools that all of these platforms provide right out of the gate where no real customization is truly needed. So you can get straight to what you need to do and go live very quickly if you use all three. And the robust customization options that are provided can really fit that e-commerce lifestyle that you're building here. And finally, you'll get unrivaled support from XCentium. It's something that we're going to be working on, providing a customer service team that can really help and provide any kind of benefits to you and solutions in case you run into any issues. So enough about the connector itself. Why don't we go ahead with a demo? So Surya, I'll pass it on to you to conduct that.
Thank you, David. We're going to take a quick dive into the demo. I'm Surya Challa, the VP of Data and Cloud at XCentium. We are going to look at two scenarios. One where an order is placed on a Shopify store, and we will look at the information that is sent into the OMS. The second use case where a customer calls in to the customer support and requesting a change to the order, and how is it managed with the help of OMS, with the help of Salesforce OMS, and with the connector in place. With that, I'm going to switch to the my browser here. I have 4 different tabs. There are 4 different tabs. One is the Shopify store, the XCentium demo Shopify store. I have a couple of tabs related to Salesforce OMS, and I also have a Shopify admin portal open. I am going to switch to that in the end. So I'll start with the first scenario where I'll place an order. Prior to that, I do want to show the Salesforce omnichannel inventory for a product, just to show how the updates happen. This is a specific product I want to show, which is a classic high visibility t-shirt with a variant XL variant. It has a reservation count of 55. Just have that back of your mind. We'll come back. So I'm going back to the Shopify store. I'm going to place an order. It's the same product, classic high visibility t-shirt. I'm going to pick the XL variant. I'm going to pick a few units of those and then want to buy it. So I have my name and my email ID here. I'm going to use the pre-filled address, save, so continue to shipping. The shipping, I'm going to pick the economy, so continue to payment. I'm going to pick up pre-filled credit card, a test credit card, and say pay now. So this gets me the confirmation page. So I placed an order for 3 t-shirts of classic high visibility XL variant for a total of $27 and a shipping for $1.90, taxes $223 for a total of $34.13. At this time, the connector would have to pick these changes and sent to the OMS. So I'm going to go to the OMS page and look at the summary. So I am looking at this order 1432. It came in at 11:13 Pacific time. This is the Eastern time. So 2:14. I placed the order at 2:13, and that's what we have here. So it's been already sent. So I'm going to go into this specific order. We have multiple details. We'll start with the totals. 34.13 is the total amount, tax 223, shipping 490, and the product total 27. We're going to go to the Shopify summary page. So total of 3413, taxes 223, shipping 490, and a subtotal of 27. Now, out here, my order summary. I have the billing address, 1 Hotel South Beach. The status is waiting for fulfillment. This is the user account, who placed the order. Coming down here, I have the products that in place. This is the classic high visibility T-shirt, XL variant, the quantity of 3. I go back to the summary page. I have more details. I have the shipping address, which I picked to be the same as the billing address. We have the payment details. For example, this is a Visa credit card. I can go into authorization, look into the payment logs. It has the details about the authorization code, the reference number. These are used during the returns cancellations from within OMS. You don't have to go back to the Shopify admin portal to manage any of this. As David was referring, you could have multiple storefronts. You need a lot more custom order management workflow. All those storefronts, all the customization is managed completely from within this single OMS. So we have more details. For example, I can go into the fulfillment flow, and this is highly customizable. This is the power of the Salesforce that lets you customize this to your unique needs. Going back to the summary page, there are multiple actions like cancels, discounts, returns, reship, flow, and each of them are highly customizable. With that, I want to go to the second scenario I mentioned, where a user, a buyer calls in and he wants a change to the order. If you have multiple storefronts, you don't have to go to the siloed, fragmented applications. Instead, you come to OMS, and I will show you the one case. Say you need to cancel the order. You come here, whatever the number of storefronts you have, you use the same Salesforce OMS coming, and so I'm going to go click cancel. Okay, the current status. This could take a minute or so for the updates to show up. So I'm going to go back and for a minute or two for this cancellation status to show up. When I do a refresh. Go to the details page. Yeah, this is canceled. We can see the status has been canceled here. Now I want to go to the Shopify admin portal and check the status of this order. As David mentioned, the connector is a direct bidirectional data sync. The updates that happen in OMS are carried back to the Shopify. So I'm going to go to the Shopify admin portal and click on the orders. This is the recent order 1432. 1432, you can see the 1432 is the order. Go back. I see you can see that it's been canceled in the Shopify. All this fully automated. The connector took care of carrying the right information back to the Shopify from OMS. With that, the demo concludes. And David, I will hand it back to you.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Surya. That was a great demo. And I'll put my cam back on as well. So I just wanted to see if we had any questions now for Surya and myself. And it looks like we have a few that trickled in the chat. So we'll start with the first one, which is, can I host the connector myself? So yes, that's going to be a possibility. You'll be able to host it on your own servers. Right now, we've really been focusing on a cloud-based solution for the connector. So we'd like to host it on our own servers for the time being to see how that functions and works. But there's definitely some discussions we can have about having a customer hosted on their own servers for sure. So we just want to make sure that we provide the right support for it. Surya, anything to add to that question or the answer to that question as well?
That's correct. So this has been built as a cloud native service, but for the customers who have the internal both capabilities and capacity to host it by themselves, we are open to the conversations.
Yeah, makes sense. The next question is, are you working on an interface for the connector, especially if we were to host it ourselves? So yes, that is also in the works. Right now, it's a little, it's definitely work in progress, but at the time, or for the time being, it's something that we mostly need to have control over in terms of how to set it up, how to configure the connector, and that's something that can be discussed during scoping sessions if you're interested in utilizing this application. And Surya, anything from your end to add to that answer as well?
Yeah, we are happy to, we haven't published any interface at present, but we are happy to have the conversations and extend it for your needs.
Mm-hmm. All right, and the next one is, are there plans to utilize the connector for other e-commerce solutions or platforms other than Shopify and Salesforce order management? So yes, there is that. We branded it the XC connector. It's not like the Shopify connector or anything. So there are discussions right now about utilizing it for other platforms. But for now, we are focusing on utilizing it for Shopify and Salesforce order management. But there's definitely some discussions we can have if interested in branching the connector to other e-commerce platforms from a sales and service perspective as well. All right. The next one asks, how long would it take for implementation? So that's another thing that we would love to discuss with you if you're interested in the application. We would like to probably have a in-person consultation just to get scoping details, and then we can discuss just how long it would take to set something like this up, especially so we could tailor it to your needs and obviously target it for whatever launch date or other milestones you're thinking of.
Okay. So the one of the big advantages of the Salesforce order management system is its implementation time compared to any of the legacy OMS, which used to be a humongous exercise taking years for implementation. Salesforce OMS typically is 4 months, and there are even implementations that took lesser time. And there are some which were a little over, but otherwise it's phenomenal the speed with which the OMS can be implemented. And our connector kind of goes with those timelines based on the needs, based on various other, some other metrics. The implementation time could vary, but the XC connector implementation for your specific storefronts is kind of, it happens within the same timeline in which the Salesforce OMS is being implemented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially if you're going to just go with out-of-the-box functionality, it's going to be a fairly quick process, relatively. We'll have to have discussions on timeline, obviously, but to Surya's point, 4 months or less, definitely a possibility. All right. And finally, the last question I have so far, unless there's any others trickling in, does it support proprietary commerce channels? Surya, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so we right now that's on the roadmap. We haven't, the sales for the Shopify itself is a humongous exercise. This needed help from, this needed knowledge and brain from the experts that were in the space for over 10 years. So it was a humongous success, and with the team, everyone has done a tremendous job. But yes, those are the next steps. And if you have your proprietary commerce, in-house proprietary commerce system, and you want to connect to the Salesforce OMS, the XC connector, the beauty of the system is that it has a very well-defined blocks and the ease with which you can integrate into the Salesforce OMS, which includes the entire scalability, reliability, monitoring, and everything included. So there are tremendous benefits, and again, we are open to talk about it, explore.
All right, excellent. Thanks, Surya.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it looks like that is our last question so far. Unless there's any other questions, you can type it into the chat if you'd like.
Yeah, or you can reach out, reach David or me, and post the conference. You should receive an email with the details where you can reach us out.
Yeah, so look out for that. All of you that are a part of this webinar today will be receiving that communication from XCentium alongside this presentation itself too. So yeah, well, I think that's it. So thank you all so much for joining today, for giving us your time. We really do appreciate it. And we look forward to any other further questions you might have about the XC connector. And if you have any other questions or you want to reach out to myself or Surya, you can find us on LinkedIn, and we'll also be forwarding our communication information as well. So thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.